Okay, there we go. Testing, testing. All right. All right. So I just want to recap again because I don't know what happened, guys. Just sometimes I do have to deal with technological issues. So the law of abundance is, you definitely want to recognize, hey, there is money and there's a way. I will definitely find it. So what I want you to do is, the first thing is, let's get rid of these misconceptions. Somebody who has money is not a whack job, right? If you wish people who have money well, you too are wishing yourself well. Just remember that we are all one, right? So if there's a part of you now, in a personal story, when I was living, hola, ¿qué tal? When I was living in Seattle, I really enjoyed my time in that city. I was taking a lot of classes, and a lot of people wanted to capitalize on the fact that, hey, you guys have had a really hard time. I went through homelessness. You guys know about that. I wrote about that in my book. And a lot of times people are like, oh, well, we want to hear your experience. Like, how hard has it been during this time? A lot of people were so upset at the people who had money. They have two cars and this and that. Hello, you guys, we are one. We are one person, right? We are one. We're connected with everything. There is a collective consciousness. So when there's a part of you that hates people with money, guess what? You hate yourself. There's a part of you that is very rich and you hate yourself. So the first thing is to maybe get over that, right? To wish everybody well. Wish everybody well. Wish the people who have what you want well, and wish the people who are not where you're at well as well. No pun intended. So when you do this, it's really going to help you. It's going to boost you. It's going to catapult you to a different space intellectually. It's going to catapult you into a different space metaphysically. Let me turn this camera like that a little bit. And it's going to catapult you into a different space metaphysically. So how do we know that this is working for us? Like, how are we so sure? Well, I want to take you through a quick exercise. So throughout your lifetime, you've generated a lot of really good energy, and much of which you weren't expecting to get paid for. So if you have your notebook, I want you guys to take out a piece of paper and begin to write to the universe at large. And how are you going to address the universe? And I've done this, and so this is like very cool. It's actually a law of the universe called the law of abundance. So when you write this letter to the universe at large, be honest. Dear universe at large, I have generated a lot of good energy, much of which I have not gotten paid for. Now, I was not expecting to get paid, but throughout my time, I have generated so much good energy and love. Put in all of the things that you've done for other people. Put in the help you've given them. Just list all the things you could possibly list, okay? And I want you to really, really consider all of the things that you've done, all of the good energy that you've generated, all of the volunteer work you've done, all of the rides you've given to people, all of the ears that you've lended to somebody else. And I want you to really just sit down and just take some time and make that list. I've done this, I've done this, I've done this. In this clause, I want you to talk about how you believe in yourself. In order for you to receive something, we'll talk about different ways when we get to this point, but in order to really receive something, you really need to make sure that you are telling the universe at large, God, universe, listen, I've done this, and I believe in myself, and I believe in others, and I want good things for other people. I am a good person. These are the things I've done. So when you're done, make sure you have some sort of clause or whatever in this letter to the universe. And I want you to write down all of that stuff, okay? Just make sure you have that clause in there about, hey, I've done and generated really good energy. I wasn't expecting to get paid for it, but, I do feel, and you need to have some sort of phrase as well about how you feel worthy and entitled to your cash refund. Making sure that you're saying, okay, look, I feel worthy of this. I believe in other people. I believe in myself. And I believe in people. I believe in myself. And I feel worthy and entitled to my cash refund. And I'd like it right away or as soon as possible. And then you just make sure you have this written. Now I know there's it's like spread out amongst a lot of platforms. So usually I would just kind of pause and let you guys do all of this and we would share, but I feel like you can do this on your own. And later when you're watching this replay on Zoom or when you're watching the replay on YouTube, you will have an opportunity to just pause this and move forward. So what are you going to do with this letter? Why did I write it in the first place? Well, firstly, when you write something, not only has that now become yours, but when you state it out loud, it becomes even better. It's already yours. So I want you to read it out loud when you get a chance, when you're in your space. And I want you to put it in a very sacred place. This is actually the northwest corner in your room. So this is actually known as a money spot in your home. It could be like the left-hand side of your home. This is incorporating feng shui as well. And I want you to get a candle, a 7-day candle. You can light the 7-day candle. And yes, light your 7-day candle. Make a list of all the stuff that you feel like you are, fully deserving and entitled to. And every time the 7-day candle goes out, then you go and replace it. And do this until you get your refund. And it may actually be like $20,000 and maybe $30,000, but you want to be anticipating. You want to be in a space of readiness when it does come. Every time the candle does go out, you want to replace it as soon as you can. Okay, so just make sure like that is the next part. All right, so while you're clearing out all of your stuff, you're making sure you are like having an emotional space and you're ready for this to come back in. I also want you to write down a list of all of the things that you wish to do. And I want you to analyze what other people have done in this field. So when you're in this, so you finish this letter, and like the next thing that you're going to do is to really write down all the stuff that you're doing now. So how can you prepare for like abundance and what is to come in a time where everybody's freaking out? We don't want to focus on the freaking out. We want to focus on what's happening that's really good. So I want you to write down all of the things like on a separate sheet of paper. The first thing is all the things that you are doing now. Is it exciting? Does it challenge people? Maybe you have a business. Maybe you're selling a product or some chairs or apples in this case. Does it inform? Does it teach people? Is it exciting? Does it infuse people? Does it make them feel sexy? Does it make them feel confident? What is it exactly that you're doing? What is the product and how is it that it can be improved? Honestly, I do this a lot every day in all of the things that I'm building. Like it takes time, but real and honest inventory of making sure you're always seeing things in a positive light is really going to shift things for you a lot. Trust and believe. What you want to do while you're doing this is energizing yourself in your work. And all of your light and everything that you're lit into it, it's going to really put your energy so high into everything that you've done. While we're doing this is actually like several laws, but now we're going to go into the law of duality. So there are subatomic particles, right, that aren't solid. That's just how they work. That's exactly like money. That's exactly what you're doing. You're making everything real by observing it. Now, in order to, in between this lay of time, right, it's not exactly here, but it's existing in this strange world. How can I explain that? This is the law of duality. This hazy state in which money belongs is a dualistic space here, but it's not. So what you can do in order to make it physically solid, like coins, like you could physically like, hold it, put it on the table and paper stuff. That's always an important task to be able to do that. This is the law of manifestation. So your body is full of bioelectric energy that emits. So what you want to do is make sure you're like keeping wealthy habits. This is just really the law of this. Oh my. um, keeping good and healthy ideas. So what you're doing is when you're keeping and eating good food, when you're like doing positive things with yourself, your bioelectric energy, magnetic energy is going to magnify and attract things to you. The higher you oscillate, the higher your vibration is going to be. So if you're writing that list of stuff that you absolutely love to do, you can just keep in positive energy. Like, you don't want to take anything seriously. If it makes you happy to be on a beach and just play with a bunch of people, that's so important for you to also go into your feminine essence. And remember, in your inner child and your feminine essence, this is the area in which you're creating. When you're stressed out, that's not a really good time. Like, I can't honestly say that that's enjoyment. Like, I don't know. In my past life, I went to law school, and I thought that was so much fun. And I'm gonna sit in the library for 47 hours a day. That's a joke. There's only 24 hours a day, but I'm gonna sit in the library all this time. I'm gonna like focus. I'm gonna read all these cases, and that was not the point, you guys. That was not the juice. That was not, the sauce. I mean, the sauce, the fun is really playing. It's dipping into that fun, creative, soft energy that does appeal to feelings. Again, when we're talking about the law of duality and you're wanting to, and you actually are attracting good things to you, it's like 100% important that you are really establishing and keeping with a high oscillation and a high vibration. So when you're vibrating high, things can't bother you as much. The next thing I want to do is like also share with you how important it is to move forward every single day. Now, I shared a lot about the Earl Nightingale's The Strangest Secret, and how he talks about that that success is the actualization of and the progression of a worthy idea. So every single day that you're taking concerted action to move forward and do things, this is something that's going to end up helping you in the long run as opposed to hurting you, right? That's exactly what you do. You can walk down the street and love every single thing that you see. Now, if you follow a lot of Abraham Hicks' teaching, she says the same thing. Get in the vortex. Get in the vortex. Just love everything that you see. I'm just so happy. Everything's so happy. I just love everything that I see. I love everything that I see. Now, you don't have to leave town to do this. You just have to change your state of mind. Like, this will help you oscillate. And sometimes if you're not in a good space, it's all right to recognize that. Maybe you just need to take a nap. Like Abraham talks about this. She talks about really wanting to slow down your vibration. If you're doing something that's like you're not feeling 110% about, you want to go ahead and stop and seize everything that you're doing so you can get your vibration back on point. Just take a nap, do something else, focus on something, go play with kids. Everyone has a lot of time on their hands right now, and so why not do something fun that you enjoy, so you're elevating your vibration and all of the things that come with it. So for that, yes. The next thing I want to share with you guys is the power of invocation. So when you're invoking something, invoking spirits, invoking prayers, invoking everything like that, that's so important. When you are really sure about this and you're deciding what you want, you have to invoke it. Now, prayers out loud are a lot more powerful. Now, let me explain to you what I've been doing exactly with my invocation, because there is a book called The Game of Life and How to Play It. I really enjoy it. Really strong Christian tones. Everything is all about asking. It's all about the Sermon on the Mount, right? And it's really important for all of us to recognize, conceptualize, actualize, and begin to practice it. So when you are speaking things out loud, you want to do this even with water. You can with another piece of paper, affirm that good things are coming into your life. Now, remember, this teaching today is about the money Bible. But you know what? Honestly, you could do this with anything. You could do this with a relationship. and you want to affirm positive things that are coming. So if you're worried about something, you want to keep yourself, you're not going to keep yourself in a good state of mind. You definitely want to affirm a solution ahead. Do not, affirm or say, I hope this is going to come. Please, God, send this money. I need it by this date. Just move on as if you have it, okay? So it requires you to state your need as a fact. State it out loud and affirm it in prayer. Change your words to commandments and decrees. When you decree and declare something, it is done. And when two people decree and declare something, it is done by our Father who's in heaven, right? So you can say stuff like, not God send me more money. Just say, look, a great opportunity is on its way to me. I decree and declare a great opportunity is on its way to me. I decree and declare that a great sum of money is on its way to me. Invoke, 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 and you will never be broke. I affirm that. Okay, the next thing I want to share with you guys, all right, before we get into the law of money and ego, I want to share with you, the law of giving and receiving. So, my first time here, into the world, I had zero money. This is so funny that I'm the one teaching this in this moment, right? I had zero money. Okay, I didn't want to say zero money. I had money. I had $200 and one ticket. And so, you want to give. I was giving so much and I did not have any physical money. Again, money is energy and energy is neutral. So if you're as long as you're sowing any sort of energy that is positive, you're going to get it back. As you sow, so shall you reap. It is a law. This cannot be refuted. It can't be changed. You can't, no witch, no deacon, no demon, no spirit, nobody is going to come in between a law, like the law of gravity. You might take a plane, but guess what? At the end of the day, you're still going to fall out if you jump out in a parachute. So I want to remind you that in order to receive, you definitely have to give. You cannot receive with a closed fist. You can never receive with a closed fist. If your hand is like this, here, take $10. You can't do that. Your hand's closed. So in order to do this, you both need to give and receive. Now, this happened a lot in Malaysia and a lot of in Ganesha and a lot of Hindu statues. This was kind of one of the symbols, right? In order to give, you must receive. This is like a flow, that in order to receive a flow, you have to be able to and willing to do this. So do this, you guys, in the next time that, someone, sorry, it's something bit my neck. So the next time that you do sit down and you do meet other people, always bless them in your heart. Always bless them. Say amazing things to them. Always bless them. And don't stress yourself out every time you're in a very busy place, but just send good energy to other people. And if they need somebody to listen to them, just listen compassionately. No one wants their problems fixed unless you come to me or you call me. A lot of times they just want somebody to listen to. So listen compassionately and just love them and just empathize with them and appreciate where they're at and what they're going through. That is so important. The next is, the other half of giving is actually receiving. So make it a rule for yourself moving forward from this moment that you're not going to say no. This was one of kind of my important lessons the first time I arrived here, was that I needed to learn how to receive. Being an awesome receiver is so important. You're affirming that $40 million or 40 billion is coming into your bank account. Then it means that you have to take small steps. If a friend offers to pay for something, a lunch, a drink, graciously and humbly accept. When you find money on the floor, pick it up. It didn't belong to anyone. If you find it on the ground, nobody's around. If you just find money, humble yourself and pick it up. You're not saying to the universe, oh, I have enough. I have to keep going. That's not the right attitude to have. You're affirming a lot of amazing things coming into your life. So just humble yourself, bow down, and pick that up. Seriously. The next thing, let's see. Yes. Um, is that I want to talk about the metaphysics of that. So when you are talking to people about, when you're concentrating on people, there's a book I shared on my Instagram. It's called How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. And this is absolutely a money maker. Like, this will keep you, and it'll remind you, listen, I've got to like investment is in people. It's not in, like, yes, it might be in other forms, your business, but guess who comes to your business and does and purchase things? People. So everything is always a people business. Even if you're working online in the internet, you're still going to have to deal with people. Uh, so when you affirm this, you're affirming positive things, you're affirming that you're listening to other people. That's giving. And your energy wants to be in proportion to what it is that you're going to receive. So when I share a lot about Earl Nightingale, hey, listen, how to think and grow rich, sorry, that's Napoleon Hill. But still, this is really important. These are really important principles. This is a foundation in which much is going to be built upon. So it's like, you definitely want to keep this, like, we're just keeping this at 100. All right. So, what just happened? Did I touch something on my? Okay, the next thing I'm going to share with you guys again is everyone's money is your money. Like, affirm that ideas are exactly that. The next thing you want to do is always, like, carry cash on you. Take about $1,000 if you can, or 500 if you just, and get used to the idea of always carrying cash on you. Now, I'm not sure how much of Morning Invest you will watch with everything that's going on in the market and things like this. We're not looking at that area, but we are also aware of what happens. You don't want to